I just want to welcome everyone to class tonight and wanted to let you all know that we are going to be working with this image from Rick St. Dennis, and he has an Etsy store where you can purchase this. It's a Digi stamp, and what's really cool about the Digi stamps is you can size them. I love that. So you can make them bigger, you can make them smaller. They're just a great thing. They're easy to store on your computer. I have the link on my Facebook page. If someone wouldn't mind running over and grabbing that link and putting it in there. I have to shut down my Facebook and everything when I come on. Otherwise, I can't get the Ustream to work properly. So again, that's where I got the image from, and I just sized it to how I wanted it to appear for this canvas and put it on there, and I'm going to show you how to do this whole process. She is a little smaller than I'd say 5 by 7. I will show you the actual image. I don't do the measuring thing. I really just kind of eyeball it and pick how big I want it. So this is how big I made her in comparison to my 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. So you can go obviously as big as your paper or as small as you like. So keep that in mind. I am going to be working with watercolor pencils tonight, so I printed my image on watercolor paper. Now I'm going to get in real close here. Can you see the texture on this paper? I know it's white. You should be able to see the little like lumps. Let's see if I can get it by putting some color in there. Okay, so I printed this out on watercolor paper, and I always print out 2 copies in case I make a mistake when I'm coloring. So that's just a little something I do, so that I especially wanted to do it for the show in case I mess something up. I print out just directly from my computer. I don't have a fan page, Leslie. It's just my name over on Facebook. One of the girls I'm sure is running over there to take a peek at the link, and they'll put it in there. Oh, I'm so sorry. I don't have links enabled. Let me do that. Allow links. Okay, links are enabled now, so go ahead and post that link. It's from Rick St. Dennis. The image was $2. There you go. There's the link. So I just printed it out on watercolor paper, and then I just let it dry. I printed it out this afternoon, and I do not use any water or pencils on it for a couple hours. You need to make sure that this ink is good and dry, because when you're going to be working with the water, you can run the ink if the ink is not dry. This is dry, so it's going to be ready to go. So again, here's what our image looks like to start with. And I just simply put it on a canvas. I used Firefly Prima paper in the background. And then I Mod Podged it on there. I colored my picture, put her down, added my flowers. I added some texture. I'm going to walk you through this entire process of what I did. Only I'm going to do it a little bit differently. I'm going to hold it up a little bit closer now because I want to show you some things on here. This is a word, love, from Want2Scrap. Okay? She does look a little bit like Lucille Ball. I thought the same thing when I saw her. Okay, so I have the word love, and all I did was Versamark it and put some glitter from Donna Salazar on there. And then I have texture paste with more glitter. And then I put these really pretty flowers in there. I love Donna Salazar's fairy dust glitter, and that's what I used on this. Okay, I colored her simply with watercolor pencils, and I'm going to show you how to do that. And then she has this veil, and all I did with that was I added some more Want2Scrap bling to her veil in the front and then also in the back here. And then I added a bunch more flowers up at the top, just clusters. And then I have another word up there, live, that I Versamarked and put some glitter on. So this is a real fun project for me. It's one of my favorite things to do. I really like to do this. And you've heard me say before in the past, canvases are a lot of fun. This is just a 5x7 canvas, and just ink the edges. However, I don't have a ton of wall space that I can hang all this stuff on. So I love 3D stuff. So for me to do this on a scrapbooking layout is kind of tough because obviously you can't close the page then, or close the book. So because I'm going to be moving into a new scrap room, it's going to take me several months to do that because I have a lot of cleaning out to do in the rooms I need to move around. I am working on a binder system of ideas where I'm putting all of my ideas into these really fun binders, and I want to decorate my binders myself. So what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to do this exact same thing only on a binder cover, and I'm going to do it on a small binder. This is not even 8.5 by 11, it's 5 by 7. So I am just going to do the exact same thing on this binder. Now this is an old binder that I used. I had a issue where I always like to label my binders, and it's hard then to get it off once you change what you're using it for. However, this is not going to matter when I do this, and I'm going to show you why in a second. Are you guys having issues with Ustream? Okay, well, I'm just going to show you how I started this. I did a lot of it the inside of the binder. Okay, and I'm going to show you how to do it on the cover, and that's what we're going to work is the cover. But the whole thing is actually going to be done the exact same way. And this is, again, with the Prima Firefly paper. Love this paper. So all you're going to need to get started with this, I'm just going to open it up. No, I did not. The binder does have a plastic cover. It's right here, and I did not take it off. You can if you want, but I saw no reason to make extra work for myself, so I'm just simply leaving it. Now I'm going to do it exactly the same way that I did on that canvas. Hi Patrice, I see there's some new people coming in, so I just want to show you my canvas. This is what we're working on tonight. I'm going to take you through the steps exactly how I did it on the canvas, however I'm going to do it on here. Now this is my big Mambo size Mod Podge, and I'm simply using this because I have it. You can use Elmer's glue, school glue, anything that you want. I know the glue is a little bit cheaper than the Mod Podge, and the thing to remember about when you're Mod Podging is you've got to go over and under. So you're going to do the base, this is your under, and all I'm going to do is slap this on. Anybody can do this, you guys. Like I always tell you, if I can do this, you can do it. Please feel free to ask questions. You might want to put the big blue Q up there so that I notice it, or type in all caps or something. If I'm going too fast, please stop me. Somebody stop me. Okay, so all I'm going to do now is rip the paper. I'm just going to pull my, I'm going to choose what paper I want to use. And the fun thing about the Firefly, any of these paper pads, I'm just working from a 6x6 paper pad, is you don't have to worry because it all matches. And I hate matching paper. So this is actually a good thing for me. This is one of my favorite sheets. Don't you love this sheet? It's just such beautiful paper. Did you do anything to the plastic to make it more textured to accept the glue paper and not peel off? I did nothing. You're seeing me work with it right now. I haven't done a single thing with it. So all I'm going to do, you are seeing me work it exactly as I did the parts that I already finished. And I'm not even going to use a heat gun on this. I'm just going to show you how this is just going to naturally do what it needs to do as I work. So you saw I did the under with the Mod Podge. Now I'm going over, and this is just simply to seal it. And I am using a matte Mod Podge. You can use glossy for this project, but I'm not doing that. And it may also even take a couple of coats of Mod Podge. I am going to re-Mod Podge once again over the entire thing just to make sure all of the edges and everything are sealed after I finish this with you guys. And again, all I'm doing is ripping my paper and applying, you know, putting it where it needs to go and Mod Podging. This is a fun little way to get your stuff a background if you don't like to use inks and sprays. And I do like to use inks and sprays, although they are a little bit more challenging for me. But I also wanted to do something that I didn't have to worry a whole lot about drying time with you guys. Okay, thank you for posting that link for the image that I'm using. Again, it's $2, and it's from Rick St. Dennis. And it's actually called 1935 Hat Image, Digi Stamp. So if you're not able to find it through that link or through the store, just go over to Etsy, just etsy.com, and type it into the search bar and it will come up. There's quite a few fun images over there. And I had originally seen one of his images posted over on Messy Desk that I really liked, and I just went over there and started browsing through his images that he had for sale, and I picked up this one because I really liked it. She looks vintagey, yet beautiful, so that's why I went with that one. I'm just checking the chat there if you guys have questions. So this part is really just like a little puzzle to cover everything up. Just get your pieces on there. And don't worry about the areas that you've ripped where the white paper is showing through, because we're going to ink that with an ink pad, and I'm going to show you how to do that too. Everything that I'm doing is very simple and easy, so don't get intimidated by what it looks like in the end, thinking, oh my God, that's a hard technique, because everything is very simple to do here. So, and you can use more than one piece of paper if you want it to have a different look. I'm just kind of going with what I've got here. Hi Brenda, welcome to everyone coming in. All I'm doing is my background. And I'm simply Mod Podging. I'm using a matte Mod Podge. You can use school glue, anything at all that you like. And I'm going to use this binder when it's finished. I'm just not making another canvas because I don't need another canvas. I'm going to use this binder for all the little links that I like to save for the computer. I keep everything in a little spiral notebook right now, and I want something a little sturdier to keep my stuff in. Okay. Oops. Okay, Michelle's having some trouble getting in. Michelle from Want2Scrap is texting me. She's saying, is anyone else having trouble with chat? No one shows up in the chat and I can't get the chat to open. It sits there and spins. All right, we'll see what happens for her. I know I had that problem at Patrice's show. I kept getting booted out of the chat. And I was being nice. All right, so as you can see, this is just like a puzzle, and that's all I'm doing is putting my pieces down. Now I'm going to worry more about the binding area because this is the bottom that's going to be facing my mat, so I'm just mainly going to worry about the top section here. And then once this section is dry, I can flip the book over and make sure that all the edges have taken really well with the Mod Podge. I was, Susan. And yes, that's true. You usually are. In a good way, though. And now Martha's here. Everyone's coming in. Hooray, hooray. Okay, so here's what we have. All of my areas have been covered. And it is very important, though. Let me just tell Michelle here. The pop-out chat. It is very important that you do the put the Mod Podge underneath and then do it again on top, because if you're only doing it on top, you're not going to get the sticking underneath. It will not adhere. So that's the whole thing about Mod Podging is you want 2 layers. And this is going to dry clear, so you don't have to worry that, as you can see, from this side, how nice and dry it ends up. And you can still see the beautiful paper. There's no issues whatsoever. So now that I've got all my paper on there, I'm just going to take one more coat, and I'm going to make sure that I get all of the edges very well. And it looks really good to me. I don't see any bubbling or anything, but even if that occurs, you don't have to worry about it because as you can see from my canvas, we're covering a lot of it up anyway. Okay, so that's complete. So what I'm going to do now is just move the book off to the side and we're going to move on to our coloring. Excuse my arm coming across the screen there. All right, I'm going to move my Mod Podge and we're going to go to our image. So again, my image is from Rick St. Denis, and it's called the 1935 hat, I believe. And I've printed her out on my watercolor paper. Now what I'm going to do is I am using my Prismacolor watercolor pencils. These are my favorite brand. I know there's other brands out there, however, this is the brand that I choose to use. Don't get caught up in worrying about which ones you use. I think they're pretty much the same. It's more based on the numbers of how many pencils are in each case. And the most important thing that I can tell you in regards to watercolor pencils, this is simply how I do it. It doesn't mean this is how you need to do it. Keep in mind, watercolor means it's going to bleed when you apply water to it. So you want to go very sparingly with the water, but how I do my images first is I do all of the coloring and I do the adding of the water last. So I will tell you each color that I'm using as I use it so that you can see what's being done. Let me see, do I have something? I'm going to be using White Peach and I'm going to work around her face first, and I'll hold up the picture after I do the coloring because I know I'm not right down on it and I want you to be able to see what I've done. Watercoloring is not a rocket science that you have to worry about. You just simply get the pencil down on the paper, move it around. You can literally scribble and do this and it's not an issue. Because once you apply the water, you're going to move the color around. I take the light peach And I color her entire face with the light peach. I'm going to show you that. Okay, so here's what she looks like with the light peach. Okay, I've colored her entire face. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with a little darker color. I go light to dark. I work with my light colors first. Checking to see if these pencils. I'm going to go now with, this is a Faber-Castell pencil. And it does not have a color on it, but it is number 132. And it is a little darker than the color that I just put down. So what I'm going to do is where her face would have some normal shadows, I'm just simply going to make it a little darker. And that's going to be around her hairline, around her ear, around her jawline, under her chin. It's pretty much I'm doing an outline of the face, except I'm staying away from this other cheek because I'm basing my light as coming in from this direction. So the light's going to hit it there, and that's where it's going to be the lightest. And then I'm going to just outline her nose a little bit, because obviously there's going to be a little shadow created there, and then a little bit more underneath the chin, and then just a little bit of a highlighted cheek. And I'm going to show you this up close. Is this you, Susan? Okay, so you can see what that looks like now, and it's not going to look like this when we add the water. It's going to appear much more blended. So that's not what it's going to look like. Okay, so I'm going to make her blonde because I really liked how the blonde turned out. And the color that I'm going to use for that is called Sunburst Yellow. So I'm just going to take the yellow, and again, you can see I am literally just scribbling through here, you guys. It's not a big deal. You don't even have to worry about staying in lines or anything else. You just want to get the color down. Where you're going to be a little bit more careful is when you're adding the water. And I just broke my pencil. So I love this pencil sharpener. No dumb questions. There's no such thing. This pencil, here's the thing too, the pencils, watercolor pencils have a very soft pencil. The color is very soft. So when you're sharpening, you really need to just worry about getting just a little bit that you need to use, because otherwise what you just saw happen to me will happen. The more and more you try to sharpen it to get a really good point, it's going to keep breaking off because the pencil is just so soft. All right, so again, I'm just getting that color down. And I like mine really vibrant and dark. So that's why I'm pressing so much harder. Now I'm going to add some brown to her, and I'm going to use, let's see, this is called Sienna Brown. So what I'm going to do now is let me show you what the yellow looks like. As you can tell, it's just kind of scribbled on there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the brown, and I'm adding it in normally around the face. It's going to be lighter in some areas and darker in others, especially if you're highlighted. So you just kind of think about hair in general and how you like it to look. And now this is what I've done, is I've just added some brown, and I've just kind of gone along the lines that are already inside of her hair and wisped that out. Oh, I'm sorry, Kristen, what is your question? I didn't see it. Why is that one pencil blue and the other's light? Okay, because as I said, these are my Prismacolor pencils, and the one that I picked up here is a Faber-Castell pencil. Okay, so I picked up two fleshy tones of a different brand because I like to use more than one, sometimes more than two different kinds of flesh tones for the face. And no, this lady does not have any gray because she's a young chickie, so she doesn't have any gray. Okay, so now we've done that. I'm going to make her exactly like I did the other one because I'm giving that other one away. So what I'm going to do is now I'm going to do her eyes, and I'm going to use, this is called a non-phthalo blue in the Prisma, and I'm going to make her eyeshadow some blue there. Okay. Now I will tell you, when I do the eyes, I keep as much water away from the eyes as possible. Because once you start putting water around those eyes, you're going to have one big mess. So don't get into that. Not good. Now we're going to do the iris of her eye, and I'm going to use, so I was going to use that one, I'm not, it's too purplish. I'm going to use Peacock Blue. She's going to be a blue-eyed babe. And I'm going to hold it up and show it to you. The biggest mistake that people make when they do eyes, and I'm going to show this to you. I'm showing it to you from the side. Okay. The iris is the colored part of the eye. What a lot of people end up doing when they're coloring eyes is they color this whole section in. And when you look at your own eye, the color is on the outer part of the eye. Then you have the black part, which is the pupil. And then there's that little white or highlighted bright spot in the eye. So if you want your drawings or your pictures, whatever it is you're coloring, to look realistic, don't just color that whole thing in one color, because that's not what a true eye looks like. So you just want to go with the color around the outside of the actual eye. Then what I have, because this is non-bleeding, I use my Copic multi-liner marker, and this is a 0.5, and it's because it is very, 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 very delicate, and there's an itty-bitty point on there. And this is what I use to make the black part of my eye. And again, I'm leaving a small portion uncolored to make her look realistic. I'm not going to add white in there. I'm just going to leave a spot uncolored. And you can leave one or two spots uncolored. And the great thing about this pen is, like I said, it's waterproof, so when you start adding water around here, it's not going to make a mess on your image. The black is not going to bleed into the face. And again, the reason why I print out 2 copies of the image is because if I do have any bleeding going on once I'm pushing the water and the color around, you want to make sure that you have another copy to back up on. Now, the other thing that I use this my Copic multi-liner for is to make the eyes more realistic as I darken them. I'm going to do one eye and then show you in comparison what the other one looks like. Sometimes simply by just adding some darker marker. So here's the eye that I just outlined, and then you can see the other one, it doesn't look anywhere near as drastic. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let's look at her like this. Look at the 2 eyes. The one eye I've outlined in the marker, and the other one I have not. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the other eye now. This marker, I want to say the marker, gosh, how much is this? It might be as much as $10, but I use this all the time, and I've been using it a long time, and I have not run out of ink. And the other awesome thing about it is all these lines that are in here, I can draw the lines in there as well. Michelle is texting me that she is here, ladies. She just can't see the chat. Michelle, they're saying to keep trying. Try going out and coming back in, and you might be able to get on. She said she can see and hear, so she just can't see chat. Okay, now the one thing I did forget when I had the flush colors out is I forgot to do her neck. So I'm just going in all completely with the light peach again here around her throat and her neck. And then I'm going to take that darker color again, and I'm just going to put my highlights in. I'm going to get a new camera too, you guys, so that I can zoom and show you better without having to hold up all the time. This image is really pretty. Remember that when you're doing her hair, she's got some wisps that come down onto her neck as well. And all I do with those is I put one color on them, and that's that sienna, that burnt sienna color. I love these pencils. And then I do take the dark brown as well, and I just kind of feather in her eyebrows. And I'm going to hold her up and show her to you in a sec. So this is what she's looking like. Okay. Now when we get up here into her hat, because I'm going to be putting a cluster of flowers right here, and then another cluster of flowers down here at the bottom, I don't have to worry about being too particular and perfect up here at the top, because the flowers are going to cover a big section of that anyway. So I'm going to show you now what I do if I just want to use one color, like I'm going to use green. This is called grass green, and I'm just taking it and very darkly, I am pressing hard now. I'm going all around the outer section of the hat and where these lines are, and then I'm going to do the same thing around the brim, and I am pressing hard. Michelle said to tell everyone hello. They're all saying hello back to you, Michelle. Okay, now because I don't want to use, I have another lighter green because I bought the bigger box of the Prismacolor pencils so that I have lots of shading options. I'm going to use the same green, but I'm just going ever so lightly with it. And you're going to see the difference when I add the water. And I'll hold it up and show you what I'm doing. There's some areas that I want darker, and there's some areas that I want lighter. And when I push the color around with the water, when I apply the water, I'm going to be able to control that a little bit more as well. Out of all of the mediums, I would say that watercolor pencils are probably your easiest to achieve a shaded result with, and it all depends on how hard or how soft you are pressing with your pencil. That's how easily you can control it. Now all I did around her, I don't know what this thing is called. I know when I was a little girl I had the little hand muff thing. This reminds me of one of those, but it's one that goes around your neck. I don't know what that's called. Does anybody know what it is? All I'm going to do is color over this, and I am going very darkly with this. And you'll see why I'm doing this when I add the water, because simply all I'm going to do is pull some of that color in with my water brush. And again, a whole lot of this doesn't really matter because it's going to be covered up with the flowers. All right? So you guys, the coloring is finished. Okay, look at her hat, and you can see where I've got the darker areas compared to the lighter areas. And then I've done the same thing down at the bottom here now. It's just simply all dark, and I'm going to show you how to take care of that. All right. Now I'm going to put my pencils away because hopefully I'm finished with them. I won't have any issues with my coloring. Okay, now here's what I'm going to do is I like to use this brush, I'm trying to see if it's got a name or anything on it, and it doesn't. But this is a flat brush, and what I like about the flat brush is I have much more control. It's very thin up at the top, and it helps me in moving my water around. Now I've just got a little container. I know I'm not supposed to have water by my computer because I've been already proven to be naughty, but I'm going to try not to pull another Christine or a Bonnie, and I'm just going to do it. Now what I'm doing is I'm just dipping my brush inside my water, and then I don't want a ton of water on this. If you use too much water, you're going to have a big puddled mess. I'm starting at her face, and I'm starting in the middle of her face because I want it to be soft, and I forgot to do her lips, I noticed. So I have to go back and get the red. But let's just do this first. And let me move this around a little bit and show you what she's going to look like. And you saw how drastic those lines were around her face before I added the water. So I'm just blending it out. I'm just using a very little bit of water, and I'm sweeping the color up into her face. And this is how you're going to get different shades of the same or similar colors, is by doing that. Now because watercolor pencils don't take a whole lot of time for you to lay down the color, at least if you make a mistake and you have to redo it, it's not a big ordeal because it didn't take you a whole long to do. Like I use Copic markers, and sometimes I spend a really long time on just one area only to have ruined it and have to redo it, and it's horrible. So I'm going to show you her face now. See how much blended her face looks now? Oh, Michelle's telling me that she bought herself a new set of frying pans. Lucky you, Michelle. I need some new pans too. Okay, so see how this, like I said, how nice and blended it is? And it's not so drastic. Remember how dark it all was right here? It's not like that anymore. There's a big, huge change. Oh, Susan is saying, Michelle, that she ordered some new fry pans from Kohl's. I have actually done the same thing, and I use my coupon at Kohl's. They have some great pans. Okay, so as I said, we used the lightest color first, which was the flesh. The face is the part that you want to be the most careful of. Now I'm going to do her hair, and now take a look at her hair, how you can see that the brown streaks throughout the yellow. So I'm just going to show you how I'm just wisping the water, and you can just see I'm just simply flicking the water in the brush, and I'm going to go around the hairline. Don't forget the color's already on there. It's already where you put it. So you're going to see all those cool little highlights and everything and how blended this looks. The watercolor pencils, you guys, are so easy to use. I don't want you to be intimidated by these at all. If you're not coloring because you don't think you can achieve a nice blended look, go out and get yourself some watercolor pencils, and I am telling you, you can do this. It's so easy. Tomorrow and Saturday, Michael's has an additional, I think it's, what is it, Pat, 30% off or something? Get yourself some Prismacolor pencils over there, and you can do this. Now let me show you. Look at this. Look at her hair. And you all saw how easy that was for me to do. I like the colors too. That's why I chose these. All right, so now I'm going to move to the, actually, you know what? We're going to do the red for her mouth. Michelle, go back out and try to get back in on the chat. The girls want to talk to you. And again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going heavy around the outline of her lip. Now the only thing, okay, no dogging Rick St. Dennis, because everybody's images are what they are, and they're their own artistic views. Look at her lip. She really just kind of has an upper lip. I don't really see her as having a bottom lip, so I'm going to draw one in there. And all I'm going to do is take a little section and pull it out from underneath her mouth. Okay, and that's just to make it look more like a real lip. And again, I did not, if you remember now from watching me, I did not go with the water by her eyes. I just don't do that. I think the eyes look perfectly fine as they are. Some people use markers on the eyes and they don't even do the colored pencils. The watercolored pencils. There is a difference between watercolor pencils and regular coloring pencils, you guys, so make sure you're purchasing the right ones. Now I'm going to do her hat. And again, I'm going lighter first. Oh, I have a lot of water there. Okay, look what happened. See how much, I don't know if you can tell how wet that is, but it's way too wet. You don't want to have that much water going on there or you're going to have yourself a big mess. So I'm just going to place a piece of paper over it. I could use a paper towel if I had one, but I don't. So I'm just using a piece of paper to soak up some of that water. The biggest mistake that you can make with watercolor is using too much water. Okay, thank you, Kristen. Kristen has informed me, Bluebell, and Michelle will look at your poem as well. It's not in the right spot, Michelle, but it's on my Facebook page if you'll take a look at Barb Duhamel's poem on my Facebook page for a chance to win the bling. She'll look at it, Blue, no problem. Now, again, I can go outside the lines. This makes no difference because I'm going to cut this out. So I am just taking from the areas that are very dark and blending this outward. Okay, and I'm going to show it to you. And you just keep going with it until it's the color that you like and it's the effect that you like. Now I will tell you one thing. After you put your watercolor pencil down and you put your water on top of it, once it dries, it's very hard to get more color added to it. So try to get, this is why I use a much heavier hand in some areas and put it much, much more darker in some areas. And I can just pull the color with my water and my paintbrush to make it either darker or lighter. I don't know why that is, why the effect is like that, but it is. It's just once you've applied the water. If anyone has the answer to that, put it in the chat, please. Oh, thanks, Bluebell. I do too. Okay, so look at my hat, and yes, I went all over out of the lines on purpose just to show you it's okay because we're cutting it out. But see how much more blended the hat looks? It looks much more natural. And remember now, I used the same color green. I did not use a light green and a dark green. I used the same one. Okay, now around her, I call it her muff, but I know that's for the hands. I know, I'm pretty good at that. Okay, now all I'm going to do is take that water and go over the area in the green on the muff part, and I'm pulling the color around. That's all I'm doing. And again, a whole lot of this is not going to make much of a difference because it's going to be covered with the flowers. But it's good practice to play around with it and just to get that blended look, and I like to just be able to show you guys what it looks like just by doing that little flicking. And I do think that the square brush is very important because it helps you to control the color much easier. I do want to pull some of this color in around her neck a little bit. Okay, so this is what we have in our image. That's what her little muffed area looks like. And that's what she looks like. And I'm going to be using some Want2Scrap bling there for the pearl earring. And now what I'm going to show you, what I'm going to do, I'm going to move my water so I don't have any issues. And I do this before I cut it out. Again, I'm going back to my Copic multi-liner. I'm not doing the rose on her hat because that's where all of my flowers are going to go. So there's no point even wasting my time doing that because I'm going to make that cluster on her head. As you can see on this one, on the canvas, a very large part of her head is even covered except for this. So I try not to worry about too much of what I'm not going to be using. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, a lot of people, and I used to do this when I colored as a kid, I used to use a black crayon and outline my entire image. I don't do that in my canvases or my artwork now as an adult, and I do love to color still, but I think the black really pulls away from the highlighted and the darkened areas to do that. However, her veil is black, so I am just simply going to outline the veil, and I'm using a very light hand as I do this. And again, I don't have to worry about this because even if my image is still wet, this is a waterproof marker that I'm using, so it's okay. I'm just going to outline her veil, and it really does make a drastic difference when you do this, and I'm going to show you as I do it. And I hope you guys don't think I'm being silly about talking about all this stuff in regards to coloring. It's just whenever I do anything or I see somebody do something, I want really like a clear explanation as far as how they achieved the results that they did. So if I'm giving you unnecessary information, please let me know that because I don't want to waste your time. I just like to give you the color names and everything because I'm crazy about when I watch people do things. I like to know exactly what colors they've used and everything else. The Copic multi-liner marker, that's what I'm using right now. Yes, it's called the Copic multi-liner marker, and this is a 0.5 that I'm using right now. So now this is how it looks when it's outlined. But now you have all those little areas in between. Now I don't get too crazy and caught up in the fact that, okay, I have to get over each and every single one of those. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to worry about the ones around her face first. And I'm going to try to go along the exact same ones that are currently there on her face, but I'm going very lightly because I don't want to take away from her face. So let me do that. Okay, so there's the area around her face that I filled in. Now I'm going to do it much differently throughout the rest of the netting. And you can do what you want in regards to this, but all I simply do is I'm not even worried about whether I'm going over the same lines that they've got there or not, but I go, oops, I'm sorry, I'm out of the camera. I go in one direction, okay, and then I go in the opposite direction. Don't get, crazy about this part because seriously, nobody's even going to pay that much attention to it. I just like to go back and forth, and you're just making some lines basically to show that there's texture there, and I'm even doing some X's now. Hi, Samantha. Okay. Let me show you the project we're working on. This is what I made. It's a canvas. So I'm just putting it on a binder. Yeah, I'm just kind of cross-hatching there, Sue. That's all I did. Cross-hatching, and it's just because she's got that netted look there. And like I said, it's really just going to blend in because the ink from the printer is black. But look at the difference that it's made by doing that. Okay? So let me get in really close and show you. Okay, it makes a big difference. Now I'm going to make it have even a bigger difference. And I'm going to take my black ink pad. Hold on, guys. I got to grab a applicator. Okay, and I like to just use the cosmetic sponges from the dollar store and just put my ink on it. And I'm just going to roughly here and there, and it's okay to go out of the lines, remember, because we're cutting this out. I just want a nice even application. Okay, so let me show you that. Just a little bit. Now we're not getting crazy with that. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to get out my glossy accents. And you guys, look at how smart I got. You know how glossy accents clog so easily because it dries so fast? I put a stick pin in the top there. Can you see it? I put a stick pin in the top of my container. I hot glued it in there so that when I close it up, the pin goes right inside there, and I'm ready to use it every time. So I'm also using, this is my first Want2Scrap bling now that I'm going to be using, and this is Say It With Pearls. I'm using pearls now, and this is number 7201, Baby Bling Pearls in White. Okay, remember that, thank you for putting the link to Want2Scrap in there. Remember that Want2Scrap bling is so awesome and so affordable that you can use a ton of it and buy lots. Now what I'm doing is I'm just putting some of my glossy accents where I'm going to be placing these pearls. And again, I'm not worrying so much that it's in every single spot that one of those black dots is, because there's so many black dots all over the place. And I'm just using my scissors to adhere. I like to do this before I cut her out because I have more control over a larger area than I do a smaller area. And once you cut her out, she's pretty small. Now, believe it or not, the journal, I'm looking at the binder, and the binder is already pretty dry. So this is why I didn't even use the heat gun. I don't have my tweezers. I actually, you know what? I do have them. They're right next to me because I have my flower tools out. But actually, I just want to show you, you can use scissors. Scissors, tweezers, makes no difference. Was it Cindy's birthday? Happy birthday, Cindy. Thanks for stopping in. Okay. So all I'm doing is applying my pearls. Michelle has an amazing assortment of these, different colors, different sizes. So I suggest you get your bling over there. Now these veils do have a lot of that bling on them, so I do use a lot of it. And again, it's totally based upon how much you like. You don't have to do so much. You could do whatever you want. Just like with the flowers, when we get to adding the flowers in, I said this to Jamie Daughtery from Prima. I took her Bloom Girls class, and I love that whole technique, which is pretty much, you know, what I've done with this one and then that last canvas that I did, where you just keep putting those flowers and stuff all around those girls. My biggest problem in regards to any of that is I just love doing it so much that I don't stop. I just keep adding more flowers, more bling, more flowers, more bling. It just gets crazy. But I like my stuff embellished a lot, and that's why I do it. Some people don't, and they add less. And there's that saying, less is more, so totally based upon what you like yourself. Now, okay, so here's what she looks like now with the bling in her veil. Now let's get close to her face a second. I'm going to use my pencil as my pointer. See these right here? All these little marks? That is supposed to be bling down onto her face too, just like this hatching of the lines is part of the veil. So what I'm going to do is I am going to add a couple to her face, because you don't want it to look like, okay, it just stopped. And there's also some in her hair. So I'm just making an imaginary line in my mind and putting a few along this swoop. Because obviously if she's got this veil over her face, there's obviously some bling there as well. Okay? And don't be afraid to do that, because you want it to look like a more natural thing, and that's what it's going to look like if you do that. And now you guys can tell I did not use my heat gun at all for this project. You can if you're worried and you want things to dry faster. However, you have to be really careful on the watercolor paper when you use your heat gun, because you can very easily burn the paper. So I figure, you know what, if I'm going to go through the time of doing that coloring and everything, all I want to do is just let it air dry, and it's fine. Because once we finish this and we cut her out, we're really not touching her anymore anyway once we get her on the project. And I am using pearls because she's like an old-time image, and I think of that as being a little bit more classy and old-time rather than rhinestones, which to me are more of a current thing. All right, so let's take a look at that. Okay. She does look elegant. Now, I did bring a couple of the pearls onto her face, as you can tell, but I'm keeping them away from her eyes and along the bridge of her nose. All right, now we've got the earring right there, which I can either go with green or the pearl, but the pearl color. What I'm going to do is I'm keeping her pearl. This is the bulk bling from Want2Scrap. Okay, so we're going to do this now, and again, just using my glossy accents, I'm putting that on there, and this is now her earring. Okay, so there she is. Hi Jessica, Samantha's here too. Samantha, Jessica is the I love you too. I love you too. Okay, so there's the image. This is what we're making, Jess. This is what I did already, and I'm showing you guys how to do this. Jessica and Samantha grew up together here. They were both two of my daycare kids. Okay, so now we're ready to cut her out. So I'm just going to do that. And I like to just get her roughly out first. And now what I like to do is I like to cut on the outside of the black line that I traced. Because remember, if you cut on the line, you might as well have not outlined it. So it's all about how you like it to look. So just go with whatever you like. And then I'm also going to show you, because this is a lot of fussy cutting, especially around that veil. And I get a lot of the white line there, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to take care of that with my ink pad, so we don't have to get nuts about that. Because this is where my perfectionism comes into play. That drives me crazy myself. So just where the black line is, try to keep that black line a part of your image. And I think you'll like it better like that, because then it truly shows the color on the inside of it with that black being on the outside. It's more of an outline effect. So we're just going to cut, and I'm almost done. And I'll show you what it looks like and then what happens when we add the black ink then again on the outside. And again, the link for the image is on my Facebook page. And I just colored her with watercolor pencils that you can pick up at Michael's. And remember to use your coupon at Michael's tomorrow and Saturday for an extra 30% off. This is a good thing to get with that. All right. Okay. So let me just... Okay, so this is what she looks like. Yeah, I love these scissors for the detail. Okay, I want you to specifically look around the edges here where I've left that black line. And there's itty bitty pieces of white in there. So let's grab our black pad once again and our cosmetic sponge, and just then... So this is going to re-add whatever my scissors took away. And I don't want any white showing around those edges, because I want the focal point to go to those pearls. Oh, I was just saying, use your 30% off coupon for Michael's. There's an extra 35% off tomorrow and Saturday, Cheryl. So if you need Prisma watercolor pencils, use your coupon to get those. And you can get them in sets of, I believe, 24, 48, or 72. All right, now I'm just gonna, because I'm crazy about this kind of stuff. Okay, let me show you what it looks like now with the veil, with the black. Yep, it's an extra 30% off of regular and sale priced. Okay, so I just like to kind of take a look at my image and see if there's anything I need to add, and I think she looks good. So I'm going to bring my binder back in here and show you what it looks like now from when we started. Here's the side that we worked on, and as you can see, it's pretty well, I'm running my hand over it, it's not sticky or anything. It's perfect. So I'm going to fold it And again, once I get my decoration on it, I'm going to go back over with Mod Podge, because now that I folded it, I can lift up and you can see that. But the paper itself is pretty much exactly where it needs to be. So I'm just going to Mod Podge it shut and we're going to be good to go. But in the meantime, it's still a very little bit damp, but that's okay. What I'm going to do now is I want to make sure that I am working on the right side and not working upside down. So I'm going to fix my placement of where I want my girl. Yes, Kristen has a question. Go ahead. Why did you ink just around the veil and not the whole woman? Because as I said earlier, I could get out my green ink pad if I wanted to and ink around here. Then I'd have to get like a fleshy color and ink around her face. You don't want to do the whole thing in black. You can. I shouldn't say you don't want to. This is the look that I like. I want to keep it softer. I want to go from drastic to soft. Some people like to have it all drastic so that when you put it on here, she is really going to stick out. But I want my focal point to be for the pearls and the flowers that I'm going to add to this. So I don't want to do that. You can ink around the whole thing. It's totally your choice what you decide to do. Okay, so these little areas that are popping up, remember, I'm going to go ahead and Mod Podge them down some more after I do what I want to do here next by adhering my lady. But I want you to keep in mind that you want to kind of lay things out where you're going to want it. This is a little bit smaller than the canvas that I worked on. So I'm going to have a little less room to work with, but I'm still going to load her up with just as many flowers because I like that. And I'm going to show you now how I did the texture. And that's this right here, all of this. And it's with molding paste. I'm sorry, this is molding paste. There's a molding paste and a modeling paste. I am going to use, you know what, I'm going to think about this a second. Do I want to adhere her? Yeah, I'm going to use my Mod Podge and I'm going to adhere her down first. And I'm just going to put the Mod Podge on the back of her. This is now, we are not going over and under and on top with this. We are just going on the back of the image. You're not going to put this over the top of the image. I'm not going to do that. At the very end, I might spray it with hairspray as a fixative. But I'm not going over my watercolor coloring. Now, I probably should have used a different color for my background here because she's kind of blending into the background pretty good. But I'm also going to take my ink pad, and I'm using my Tim Holtz Broken China. I think it's just the brands is the only difference, nothing else. Modeling, this one, the golden, it is called molding paste. And I think Liquitex, it's called modeling paste. There's an E in there. I'm staying away from the edges, you guys, because I am going to throw some more, what's it called again? Mod Podge. I'm going to throw some more Mod Podge on there. And this just softens it up, and it's going to bring, I want to add a little bit more blue on here because that green, she's just really blending. But when I get the colors of the flowers in there, yes, Bonnie is correct. The price obviously is a huge difference. There's big difference in all of them. Okay, but I'm going to show you real quick how to do that. And I'm using my stencil again from Crafter's Workshop, and this is like a harlequin. And all I'm going to do, and again, I'm just working as I did as if this were my canvas. I've got my little spatula. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to put a blob of that in there. Hopefully this will be enough. Thank you. I am using Metallic Rose Folk Art Paint. That's what color this is. And this is also going to bring out a nice added color into this. Okay, and I just squirt it on there. I'm not measuring or anything. All I want to do is make the molding paste another color, but I want to have some texture on here. And you can make it darker, obviously, then it's hard to make it lighter in any other way other than to add more of the paste. And I don't really want any more paste, so always start out with a little bit less. You can always add more. Less is more, girls. I love this pink. Okay. So all I'm going to do is put a nice glob on my spatula here, and I'm laying, let me get in here so you can see what I'm doing. And I'm laying this down, and you do need to hold it. Now keep in mind where your image is. Here's where my girl is, right here. So I just kind of want to put my hands there so I know do not go past there. And I am just doing this, applying it. You can stay to the edges if you want with this. You can go in towards the center. I just like to have it look a little bit different. And remember, when you're using the molding paste, you need to hold it still and you're lifting straight up. Okay? So look what happens. Can you see the texture on there? Yes, I can get the stencils. Okay, so that is amazing, amazing texture. I love, 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 love it. Now I'm going to do the same thing. Let me get in the camera. And I'm just going to lay it down and do the same thing. You just need to really be careful of your image. I try to keep my finger where the image is so that that's not an issue and I'm not going over my image, because if you do that, you're not going to be happy. So see what I've got? I just love the texture paste. It adds an awesome, awesome texture to any project that you're working on. And it's so easy. All right. And you can put it all over. You can just do it in spots. The main thing, I know my hand's in front, but I've got to hold it. The main thing is you just want to remember, hold it so it's not moving around. Just dab it on there. And lift straight up. Okay? There's no right or wrong way to do this, you guys, other than if you smear it, which, you know, does happen. On my other one, I didn't lift it straight up and it kind of smudged. So that does happen. Michelle is cracking me up with these texts over here, you guys. She is just being a piece of work tonight. All right. She still can't get into the chat, although I don't think she's trying very hard because she's not signing back off and on and in and out and all that other stuff. And the girls are going to want you to pick their winner over here, sister, so you better get onto a computer that's going to allow you to do that. You guys, you cracked me up with those poems. I am telling you. Those of you who said, I can't write a poem, I don't do that kind of thing, I'm not a word expressionist and blah, 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 okay? You cracked me up. Okay, now I've got a nice gob there. If you get it right away, you can rub it off with your fingers. So just get in there and get at it right away and you're good to go. And I think actually Michelle had one of her office people pick the winner because she has gotten to know a lot of the girls through Messy Desk and through my Facebook page, and she wanted it to be fair as I did. So she asked, I'm sorry, what was the girl's name? She asked one of the girls in her office to pick the winner because she wanted to make sure that everyone felt that it was going to be Kim. Kim picked the winner earlier today. Okay, so look at my texture. Isn't that awesome, you guys? Now, while it's wet, I'm grabbing my Donna Salazar glitter and I'm shaking this over the texture paste. Michelle, you stay right there because I am going to call you when it's time to pick the winner and you can announce the winner. I'll put you on speakerphone so the girls know you're here. Okay, so now I've added, look at the sparkle. We're sparkly glitter girl. It does take a while to dry. This is when you could get out your heat gun if you wanted to. But I'm going to show you a couple other things actually, so we're going to be okay. I'm going to work around that. And what I'm going to do now is I've got my garbage right here, and I'm going to just shake it. And blow it. And here we go. How do you like that? Awesome, awesome. Okay, so now I am now Sparkly Christine. Yes, and whoever, I think it was Kristen who put that, I even bring glitter to bed with me sometimes. True, 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 true. Yes, Jessica, look. Okay, so now we're going to add our flowers. We're almost done, guys. Okay, now I am using flowers from Prima, and I am going to use hot glue for this part because I do want to make sure that the flowers are going to stick and not come off, and I want it more permanent. Don't be afraid of the molding paste, you guys. You saw how easy that was to apply. Get yourself a couple of really cool stencils. Whip up some of that molding paste, add a little bit of color, and it's amazing. Easy to use. All right, so now I've just got an assortment of flowers here. Let me see if I can get them in camera. Where are they? Okay, here. All right, and they just kind of match my, I love these little birds, Hobby Lobby, in the miniature section. I'm not in, let me get these here. I've just got all kinds of little doodaddy flowers here. And all I'm going to do is just add them wherever. There's no, Adam! Adam's coming home tomorrow. I'm going to see Adam and Ray. They're coming home tomorrow for the night. I'm going to make a nice dinner. And Ryan is playing still in the CIT College Insider Tournament. They made the Final Four of that tournament. So he is playing Saturday, so I'm not going to get to see him. But he's having a great tournament. I've been posting on my Facebook in the last 2 games of the tournament. He's had 2 amazing dunks, and he's had a couple of really good games, which he needed. So I'm happy about that, but I do miss him. Okay, so I'm going to start with the largest first. So I'm going to cover up that. These are Prima flowers that I'm using, and I'm just fluffing out my flowers a little bit because I want to make sure I cover all of that flower that's already down there. Yeah, we're going to have an early Easter. We're going to have it. Ray and Erica are coming tomorrow night. Adam will be here tomorrow during the day sometime. So I'm going to just be cooking all weekend. I went out and I got a turkey and a ham. Pat and I went grocery shopping today. I got a turkey and a ham. And then I bought a whole bunch of Polish sausage and pierogies because the kids love that. And I bought them little extra stuff to take home for Ray and Erica and for Adam to take back to school. So that will be fun. It'll be nice having them here. I wish Ryan could be here too, but he's got other things he's got to do. Sometimes I think I get to see Ryan more during basketball season than when he's out of season, and now that he's at the end of his tournament here, I'm going to see him even less because then they go into full workout mode. And I miss that. I'm used to having all the kids around. Okay guys, so all I'm doing is adding those flowers in and putting some leaves down. And again, it's just a matter of placing them. There's no right or wrong. Okay, yep, these leaves, I'm sorry, these are the stacker leaves from Cherry Lynn, and I just rip them apart and I use them singly and I just emboss them a little bit to get them to curl up and stuff. And really what I like to do is I like to kind of play around and lay these down to make sure I'm really going to like where I'm putting them. I always go biggest to smallest. And you are going to cover up some of that texture, so don't, get crazy about it. You can totally go out of order of the steps that I did if you want. You can lay your flowers down and then do your texture around the flowers so that you're sure you're not covering anything up. I, however, think it looks a little more natural to go ahead and do it the way that I'm doing it so that if something is covered up, there's a more natural look to it. All right. And all it is just filling the flowers in, putting them where you want them. And then I perk them up a little bit by fluffing them and stuff. Where's Froggy? Froggy was so funny. Pat and I were out running around today, and I get this text message, and it's from Froggy. And she asked us to go check something out at our Michael's because she couldn't find it at hers. And I'm like, yeah, no problem. Pat's like, we can take a run over there. So we go. And Pat starts driving like a maniac because other people are driving nuts. And I texted Froggy, now Pat's going to kill me here in the car because she's driving like a nut. And Froggy's text comes back with, do you by chance have a living will, and did you leave all of your scrapping stuff to me in it? And I was like, oh my God, are you serious? I told her, no, but I left you Ray. So there you go. She kills me. I love these little pearl sprays from Hobby Lobby. And you guys, I wanted to let you know that I am going to be carrying some awesome flowers that I'm getting a great, great deal on. Michelle has been helping me find some cool stuff. And I will let you know when that happens. I just love the sparkly tulle flowers, bling, pearls, rhinestones, all that kind of stuff. So you want some pierogies? Bonnie, make the girls some pierogies, please. My side of the family is Polish, so I grew up with that. And I started actually making homemade pierogies. Adam he loves to cook. And I made him homemade pierogies once, and oh my God, I never thought it would be as much work as it was. Well, it's a ton of work, you guys. But he loved it so much, and he was like, oh my God, Mom, it was awesome. You got to make me some more of these. And of course, when your kid tells you that and you haven't seen him for months and he's away at school and stuff's going on at school, and I was like, oh, okay. So I got my food processor out and I started making all these pierogies, and I stuffed them with sauerkraut, bacon, what's the other stuff? Potatoes, cheese. They are a lot of work, but they were amazing. So it was well worth it. And like I said, for him to go on and on about it, he cooked everything up when he got back at school, invited all of his friends over, and I got all these text messages from the kids saying how awesome it was, and kind of makes it all worthwhile when they're grateful like that. Okay, so I am just placing the flowers. There's no, set way that I'm doing this or anything, just making a little cluster. And as you can see, I'm not worrying so much about the texture paste or anything. It's going to dry, so don't worry about that. And when I use the same types of flowers, and you guys have heard me say this a million times over, I like to work in threes. So you saw I put the rosebuds in threes. The little purple flowers I put in threes. These I got at Hobby Lobby. I put these in threes. To me, it adds more dimension, and it makes it look like they're more, what the word is I'm looking for. They're more noticeable, maybe, when you do that. And then after the hot glue dries, I do start playing around with and manipulating how the flowers are laying. I pull some of them up so that they're sticking up more, and that they look more 3D, because as I told you before, I really do like the 3D look. Okay, I have this god-awful glue web. Kristen is texting me and asking me why I'm not using my glue pot. I bought this glue pot from my supplier, and you can just literally dip your flowers into it and apply it to your project, and there's hardly any glue webs. And to tell you the truth, Kristen, I did not use it because I didn't get it out, and I don't know how long it takes for the glue to melt. And it's really reasonably priced. It's just a pot. Yeah, I'm going to use mine. I really like the idea. I think it's awesome, and you can put it in the middle of the table if more than one person is crafting at a time, and you can share the same glue pot. And it's cheap. Don't let anybody try to sell it to you expensive, because it's very cheap. All right, I am liking this. So I was a little worried about how the background was blending in with the lady, but now that I've put the pink texture paste on there and I'm adding all the flowers, you can see that the color is coming into the project just fine. So don't get too caught up in, as you're working, oh, is this going to be okay? It really is. It's going to be fine. Just base your paints that you're using after you look at your background and the flowers that you're using. Base all of that on the color scheme that you have going, and you're going to be okay. And I'm just sticking leaves in. Here's another one of my favorite flourishes. from Cherry Lynn. It's the Flourish Strip Die. I love this. I got the melting glue pot from my supplier. I don't know if you can buy it like at Michael's or anything. I've never seen it. I want to say, I think it retails for like $10, but I get a discount too. It's not very expensive at all. Oh, you guys, Cherry Lynn came. And your orders are shipping tomorrow. I've got them all packed and ready to go. So if you order Cherry Lynn dies from me, you're going to be getting those. Remember to head over to Want2Scrap. If somebody could post that website again for me, I would appreciate it. And grab your bling from over there. And if you have not ordered from Want2Scrap yet and used my discount coupon code that they gave us, if you order from my show and you use the code BLING for you, bling, the number 4, and the word you, you'll get a 25% off your entire order. Just put my name in the comment section from my show, and they will help you get that coupon added to your order as well. I don't know, Michelle. How would I know that? Thank you, Lucinda. Nothing yet, no. Oh, good night, Martha. Thank you for coming. Happy Easter to you as well. Kristen, don't be cracking me up during the show. I got Michelle doing it on the cell phone, and I got Kristen doing it in the chat. You chatty chatterboxes. That's what I'm going to call you guys, in the little chatty chatterboxes. I really like this, you guys. She's coming up pretty. Michelle, before you go running off, you're announcing the winner for Kim. So you better be staying by that phone. I have Want2Scrap. Is such an amazing company, you guys. They gave me that huge giveaway that they're going to ship directly from their office so that the winner gets it even faster than if I could mail it to you. So please, please, please shoot Michelle a Facebook message if you're friends with her, or email her at her store site and thank her for that, because that's just awesome that they do that. If the code doesn't work, Robert will help you with the code. Just give him a call. Wait, let me ask Michelle. Michelle, if that code is not working when they're checking out, because some of the girls are shopping right now, if the code is not working, should they go ahead and place their order anyway and then contact Want2Scrap in the morning, or should they just wait to place their order? What should they do? Hold on, girls. I'll let you know what she says. I'm waiting for her to answer, guys. Okay, now we're going to work on the flower spray here. Let me show you what we've got going on here. Look at her. She's booty-mungus. Like? Yes? I'm waiting for Michelle to answer me. Ooh la la, she is very, very cute. All right, now we're going to start a little, I'm working like in a diagonal here. Yes, I love this. I love doing this. You guys saw me do another project very similar on that other canvas that I did where I colored flowers and everything. You may place your order if you like, and they will reimburse you the difference through PayPal, but the code should work. Try it in all caps, please. We don't want to make more work for anybody if we don't have to, guys. Try the code a couple times. It should be all in caps. See, now I'm pretty much placing these flowers. just where the texture is not. It is bling for you. Robert's going to check the code tomorrow if you would like to wait to place your order, she said. Try spelling out the word you. I believe that is correct. I don't know if Michelle knows or not. Robert actually gave me that code. I don't know, girls. I don't know. But it is 25% off, so that is a pretty substantial savings off of your entire order, not just one item. So make sure you use it. It is well worth it. And watch the fan page over there. Like Michelle's page, the Want2Scrap page, there's some great giveaways going on over there all the time, contests. They share great projects. I'm going to put my birdie right here. Michelle, can you try to sign out and in one more time, please? Because someone else just came back that was having trouble. Maybe you can get in too now, so the girls can see you or hear from you. She's going to try that, girls. And again, I'm not doing this in any particular way at all. I'm just doing it. Okay, Sharon wrote it down last week when they were here. Bling for you. Thank you, Sharon. I don't like that one. I've got some glue webs going on. And then just poke some leaves in around the area that you're working on as well when you're adding flowers, and it just makes it look all the more natural to do that. I just love, love, love these. Oh, thank you, Cheryl. I love the colors too. It's very pretty. I hope that you're getting a good view of the colors. Remember, once you're done with the glue gun, with all these glue webs, just hit it with the heat gun and they'll dissolve, because there's a lot of glue webs on there. But I don't want to be picking too much at them because I don't want to disturb my texture. And also, the other issue is I could very easily pull something off by doing that. So you're just better off being a little patient. That's what I try to tell myself, because I don't have a whole lot of patience in regards to this kind of stuff. And just give it some time, let it dry, and you'll get further with it doing that. Okay, Michelle said she's trying to get on, so watch the chat and see if she pops in there. She said she got booted already. I really like this one. Ooh, let's put that one there. Just kind of crunch your flowers up and get them in there. Think about how flowers are growing in the garden. There's never the same flowers. Well, there can be if they're planted, but if they're naturally there, keep in mind that it's okay to overlap. We're almost done, ladies, and then we're going to do our winner. Okay, Michelle says it's bling, the number 4, and the word you. The word you spelled out. So give that a try and see if that doesn't work for you. And if not, and you pay for your order, she will have Robert reimburse you through PayPal tomorrow. Just be sure to call and they will reimburse your PayPal the difference in the morning. See, this is where I told you guys, where I get carried away. It's very hard to stop adding these flowers and such, because I just love how it looks and how it's all coming together. But it is time to probably stop doing that. I'm going to add a few more leaves, and then I'm going to add some awesome Want2Scrap chipboard words. And I'm going to tell you guys that for the first time, I got a shipment today from Michelle, and I had never seen her chipboard words before. And before you place your order, just hold on so I can show you these words, because I'm telling you, you're going to want to get some. They're super inexpensive, and when I show them to you, and I'm going to show you something really simple and easy to use them, and a way to use them, you're going to want some. I'm going to be using a lot of the words. I'm going to be working on some layouts. I've got to get back to doing layouts for the boys because I'm so far behind on their stuff, and with Ray getting married, I'm going to be even further behind. The box of bling. Ooh. That would be a good purchase. It's the right way to enter the code. B is capitalized and Y is capitalized, ladies. Give that a try, please. That is directly from Michelle. And I will post that also on Facebook for anyone who missed the class, because I'm recording, and you can tell anyone that asks you, yes, they can still go ahead and get that deal from Michelle. You guys, you can go over there and grab packages of bling and these words. She's got so many things that are so inexpensive over there, and I'm talking like $1 a package, $2 a package. It's very easy to spend, but it's also very economical. You get a lot. Oh, is Nichelle leaving? Bye, Nichelle. Thank you for coming. I want to see pictures on your Facebook of that box you're working on. Let me show you this real quick. All right, I'm going to get close there. There's my cluster of around the girl's neck. And I even got the little birdie in there. And then here's the cluster of flowers up at her head. And then let's just try to take a look. Here she is. And I'll take pictures afterwards to show it to you on Facebook if we're Facebook friends, because it's much easier to see it like that. But I'm not done. I want to show you these chipboard words, and then I'm done. And then we're going to call our winner of the big package of bling that Michelle is sponsoring and giving away for my show. Bless her dear heart. Okay, so first I just want to tell you really quickly, because we're almost finished. Take a look at these words. Look at this, you guys. This is obviously the word inspire from Want2Scrap. Look at how beautiful that is. It's script. Hold on. I'm not doing this justice. Hold on. Here. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? There's the word inspire. Here's the word dream. And here's the word cherish. Now, I just want to tell you a couple things about these words. Now, like I said, this was the very first time I ever saw these. Let's just get in there at the word dream. Okay, so look at the thickness. Let's just see something. Let me see. Okay, there's a shot. These, they are laser cut. These are thick. They are durable. I am bending. I was telling Michelle, I talked to her after I received the box this afternoon. There have been many chipboard words that I have seen and used in the past, and the simple fact of holding them and working with them creates creases. You know what I'm talking about? How they bend and then they break off. These are extremely heavy duty, yet beautiful. Look at how beautiful these are. Okay, so I use the words on here, live and love, because I really liked them. Now remember, they are chipboard, so you can alter them, you can ink them, you can glitter them, you can bead them, you can do anything at all that you want with them. I'm going to show you something super, super easy and fast, but I want to see what I want to use, because this is smaller now than what my canvas is. That's my only problem. I glittered the other ones up. Yep, that's exactly what I did. Okay, I might not be able to do this. Well, I could put it right here. I could put it sideways. So remember that. You can go different directions with these. You don't have to just put them straight across or horizontally, I guess. You can, and this is my book that I'm actually keeping and going to be using for myself, so I can do what I want with this. I can put the word dream there. They do have, they're in the process of making some smaller ones. I don't want to give anything away though. Here's how the word love fits nicely on my canvas. And then here's the word live. Yes, they're chipboard albums. Oh my God, they're amazing. I got the bird cage too. If there is something that you want to pick up over there and you're going to want to join in on my class, I am definitely doing a bird cage album using the Want2Scrap album. I don't know when I'm going to do that, but yes, I definitely am going to do that. So if you're placing an order, grab that. It's not going to work there. I can though, I can put it on my binding once I get the binding all taken care of with the Mod Podge. That would be a great place too. Yes, they're awesome. They are for the money. Yep, they're big. Well, I want to see something. Hold the phone. Hold on. Hold on. I think it would look really pretty right here. What do you guys think? Yes? What do you think about it there? Like it? Love it? I like it there. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do. Now wait till you see how, I think I'm going to go with cherish there. Let me see. I love, look at, maybe because the C is in my name. Look at that swirl. Isn't that amazing? Actually, I think the word, because I'm going to use this for what I'm going to use it for, I'm going to use the word inspire. Just to remind me, look at that. Yes? I picked up a trim for the bird cage. It's like a ribbony trim, and there's bird cages all over it. So yes, you have to get that. Here's what I got if you want to see what I'm making. I'm getting I already got the bird cage trim, and I got a few pieces of the paper, the really springy type paper by Susan, and I'm sorry I forgot her last name. Michelle, what is her last name? I'm going to show you a really fun way to use this word. I just have this bowl for my glitter, but let me show you what I'm going to do. All I'm going to do is take my towel, and I put my word on my towel, and I have a Versamark pad. Now this is a watermark stamp pad. Her name is Weckesser. Susan Weckesser, yes. I got a few pieces of her paper that I'm going to use with the birdcage album. Now all I'm going to do is take the Versamark ink pad, and I am putting this all over the word. And you want to make sure that you get it pretty inked up. And wait till you see how amazing this is. Here's my glitter. Whack-asser, whack. I don't know. Okay, here. Just watch. Watch the amazement. This is Donna Salazar's glitter again. We love Donna. So let's see. And I'm putting a lot on here. And I'm working in my bowl so that I can scoop it all right back in there. Look at you guys. Is that not amazing? Whack, not whack. Okay, look at that. Super sparkly glitter girl, don't you love that? Look at that. It's beautiful. You can do it different colors. You can bead. You can do a number of things. This is just a super easy way to get it to go. Okay, Kristen is saying she thinks, what, Kristen? I think your word should read up from the bottom, not down from the top. So you mean like this, yes? Yes? No, on the right side. Over here, it's not going to work like that. What? Ray is calling me. No, he's not. No, he's not. Ray's playing cards. It doesn't fit there, Kristen. I have to do it like this. Flip it around on the, look, she's yelling. She's typing in caps. Flip it around on the bottom. Okay. No, he doesn't. Like this. Pat's cracking up. This is the right side to you. It's the left side to me. So I'm trying to listen. I don't know. I could even just, how about just like that? Look at that. Ooh la la, I like it. Come on, girls, don't you like it like that? I don't like her face being covered. Okay. No, Ray doesn't write poems. He can't spell very well. The kids make fun of him all the time. He's a horrible speller. Nobody wants a poem from Ray. Okay? Right, Sammy? Nobody needs a poem from Big Ray. That's what Sammy and Jessica call him, Big Ray. Nobody needs any poetry from him. We just bring the paycheck home, bring that. Nobody needs any written documentation from him. Michelle, look. I like it like that. It's going to be fine if it's hanging off the binder because where I'm using it, it's not going to be like on a shelf or anything. It's just always going to be by me. I'm using it for my passwords and stuff like that and my computer links. And I'm hot gluing it on there, so I think it's going to be fine. I think it's going to be fine. I like it too. Now, I probably will, after it's done drying and I get my binding straight and I glue these, I Mod Podge these ends a little bit nicer, I will probably spray it with some hairspray because that's what I have for fixative, just to make sure everything stays as it is. And I'm actually going to add some more hot glue underneath there, but I think we're perfect the way we are right now. Do you guys like her? So here's the, again, Digi stamps are amazing to use because you can size them, use them for what you want. I did the exact same technique here. This one is actually, I'm going to send this one to Michelle because we're so grateful that she sent us the goodies and she's doing the giveaway. So that one's going to her. I'm keeping this one. But you guys are going to hear now, Michelle's going to call me on the Selma and she's going to tell you the winner of our poetry contest. So we will now wait for Michelle's call. Okay, question for Michelle. Did Kim pick randomly? Well, we will ask her. I believe Kim read each and every one of them and she picked the one she liked the best. Phone me, Michelle. Let's go, girl. I am loving this. Michelle's going to get a phone charger in the mail from me because she never has any battery on her phone. Give her a ring, and don't mean for her finger. I will. I'll call her. Hold on, I'm calling, ladies. Here we go. She's going on speaker. One ringy dingy.
Want2Scrap. This is Michelle.
This is Michelle, everyone. You are on speaker, Michelle. Say hello.
Hello, everybody.
They're saying be careful what you say, Michelle, and they like how professionally you answered the telephone.
No, I wish I could have gotten in the chat.
Yes, we had the same problem. A lot of people had the same problem. They're all saying hello. I have 20 people here right now. A few people have left. I think we had almost 30 people at one time, which was really nice. They're all saying,
wonderful.
Yep, they love your bling. Let's see, what else are they saying? They're saying they wish that you could have gotten into the chat, and they are all waiting on the edge of their seats to hear who wins your giveaway. Do you want to read the winner's poem, or do you just want to say their name?
Oh, I think I should read
I do too.
The winner's poem.
All right.
So let me find the poem again of the winner. Hang on 1 second.
All right. Sue is saying she loves your words. She thinks they're fantastic.
Oh, good.
This is the first time I've used the words. Like I told you earlier, I was pleasantly surprised when I received mine this afternoon and I saw how high quality they are.
Oh, well, I'm glad you like them. We love them. And if anyone can think of new words, we love to make new words all the time.
Okay.
Anything they can come up with.
All right. Hear that, ladies?
Okay, so I'm not in my office, but we had someone pick the winner. Okay. Are you guys ready? I'm going to read it.
Okay. Can you guys hear her okay? No, they have to be, they can't be naughty words, people. They need to be nice words. Okay, keep in mind that I have one of my daycare friends here. Okay, go ahead.
Can we have a drum roll?
Can we have a drum roll, please? There you go.
Okay.
Here it comes.
Oh, look. Do you see that? It's a huge giveaway from Want2Scrap. Christine wrote a poem to challenge me and you. She's even throwing his image in too. I see a bird, those pearls, such fabulous things. Oh, what? You thought I was going to say bling? No, not just yet. I'm still on the top row. Can you imagine that chandelier on a page all aglow? How nice in Michelle to give him bellies and such. My, I think it may be all too much. Just look at the bling, 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 and more bling. And think of the smile that the prize will bring. So now I challenge you, one and all. Get your creative on. Don't drop the ball. I'll sit and I'll wait patiently to see just how many people think they can beat me.
Woo, that was amazing.
The winner was Christina May.
Christina May, congratulations. They're all already writing in the chat that they knew it was her. They thought she did an awesome job on the poem. Congratulations.
I wish I could see the chat. I just feel like I was watching everything from the sidelines. I couldn't even see what anyone was typing or anything.
I know. That happened to me on Patrice's show the other day. So at least you were still able to see and hear me, so you knew what was going on. So I'm glad.
Yeah, we could communicate through texting.
Yeah. Michelle's been traveling a lot, going to all these shows. She just got back from, was it Utah?
I was gone for 11 days. I was doing a convention out in Pleasanton, California, and then Utah. And if anyone is in the St. Louis area next weekend, we are doing a convention there in Collinsville, Illinois. It's right close to St. Louis.
There you go. So she's been traveling like crazy, and she still threw together this giveaway for us. So I think that is amazing. She's doing all the scrapbooking expos and on the road with Want2Scrap pretty much by herself. And we've been keeping in communication, and she put together this giveaway for us for the show when I told her I was going to be working on a cool image. And we just want to make sure that you know how much we appreciate you, Michelle, and thank you for, because this is the second giveaway you've given us in, what, like 2 months' time. So that's amazing that you could do that, and we appreciate it.
Well, you're very welcome. I love your shows.
Thank you. They're all saying thank you for being so generous. And Susan is asking, does she go to the scrapbook conventions? Yes, that's where she's going all the time. The show schedule is on the Want2Scrap web page. If you click under show schedule, if she's in the area, your area, be sure if you're going to go to pop in and meet her. I'm hoping to get to meet her one day and thank her for her support of us. Yep, the convention. Creating keepsakes, like creating keepsakes, Michelle, do you go there too?
We do a lot of their conventions.
Yep.
That's the one that's going to be next weekend.
Next weekend.
This weekend, but the following.
Okay. Manchester, New Hampshire. Manchester, New Hampshire. Yep, Manchester. Yep.
That would be Manchester.
Yeah, Susan must be drinking. She called it Manchester.
Oh, I like Susan. Susan's my type of girl.
Susan, you're her kind of girl, she said. Oh, Susan is working that one. Michelle, will you be there?
Yes.
She will be there.
Who's she working with?
Who are you working with, Susan? No, she's not going to be in Chicago at all. She's going to be...
Yeah, I'll be in St. Charles, Illinois, which is Chicago.
St. Charles, Illinois, Sue.
Yes.
Okay, hold on now. Susan must have fell off her chair or something. Oh, here she is.
St. Charles is a suburb of Chicago.
Yeah. Michelle does not do that. She, like I said, she goes by herself. She's volunteering for CKC, Michelle. She's volunteering. And she usually works for a vendor there, but the vendor didn't need her, but she's volunteering. So we'll send Susan to say hey to you, Michelle, and you'll know that she's from my show, and I take no responsibility for her behavior when you meet.
Okay.
No, she's very nice, and you're going to like her. But she's going to stop in and see you. We'll remind you beforehand so that you can prepare yourself.
Sounds wonderful.
Yeah, Susan is a lot of fun. She comes to most all of my shows. She's very supportive. She said to tell you, Michelle, she said to tell you she'll bring money.
And Corona. Corona with wine.
And Corona. She wants money and Corona, Susan. Oh my gosh, now they're getting out of line. Lucinda said she can come meet you there and teach you a dance or two. Lucinda likes to dance, Michelle.
Oh, good, because I've been wanting to learn how to do it on the pole.
She knows who you are, Lucinda. There you go. Lucinda, there you go. Susan will not teach you that. Yes, there you go. You guys are too funny. All right, you guys, say goodbye to Michelle, and thank you again, please. All right, they're all saying
Bye, everybody.
They're saying goodbye and thank you. And I will touch base with you, Michelle. Thank you again.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye. All right, Christina, congratulations. You have won, and if you will please Facebook message me your address. If I don't already have it, I don't know if I do or not, but please Facebook message it to me, and I'm going to shoot it over to Michelle, and it's going to go out for you right away tomorrow. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm so glad that you won. And a picture of what will be in your prize package will be on is on my Facebook page. Hold on one second. Yes, you're welcome.